Alright, Crack DVD Latino is here. Special interview behind the scenes. Not only do we do the rappers, the actors, and the stars, we also got to show you the movers and shakers in the industry. Right here we have our boy, very close to the boss, Terrell Blair, our friend here at Warner Music, Mr. Carlos. How you say it? Ogando, right?
Yeah.
Carlos Ogando.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And
everybody knows me as Los.
Los, exactly. So
yeah.
if you see this brother somewhere, don't step to him too much, too crazy. Just, keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Keep it 100. And so Carlos, when I looked you up or whatever and talking to Terrell and some other people, you have the background that's built for like what these people want as an executive. You went to the school thing,
right.
And I want you to tell people the importance of, you getting the basics and the fundamentals
right.
of, stepping into this biz. Well,
the one thing I always tell people is, like, if you definitely want to be in the music business, you have to take the initiative. Let's say from a school standpoint, you got to take the initiative and get some sort of knowledge of the fundamentals of the music business. Because once you're in it, you're on your own. Unless you're coming up under people's wings who are going to cater to you, which, half the time that's not even the case.
These days it's rare now,
right.
It's
super rare because the business is shrinking by the weeks, by the months, so it's to the point where you have to, once you're in it, you got to either keep up with the times or you got to come in with the proper knowledge of a good, a good understanding of the music business.
So, you're pro school basically. Right. If, what I'm saying, if you had
Absolutely.
any pointers for people that wanted to do what you do,
right.
be behind the scenes
right.
or become managers
right.
or, what would you tell them? What kind of steps should they take?
From a college standpoint, like you said, like on the behind the scenes end on my end, I would do marketing, go to school for marketing, business management, media communications, those are pretty basics. That's a pretty basic, education that a lot of people in the business tend to have now.
And then
new media, that's a big one,
Yeah, definitely. And then on top of these fundamentals, I want you to, it's a simple concept, but I want you to explain to people the importance of networking, and how it is that, how much it works in the
right.
music, in the music business.
You'd be surprised, you said it's simple, but you'd be surprised how many people don't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to them, the essence of networking is not just meeting someone on a day-to-day basis and, going to these events, meeting people, networking, and then keeping moving. It's a matter of garnishing a relationship that you've built. The minute you get that person's contact information, whether it's at an event or at a venue or, at a private joint or a concert, a show, a club, it's nurturing that relationship now where you have to brand with the person, like, how can you guys eventually work together? It may not be this year, it may not be next year, it might be a couple years down the line. But in between, you gotta value that relationship. You gotta somehow, some way keep it going. Whether it's attending an event together, the social networking is big. Keeping up with their social networking, or sharing music, or it's broad. It's beyond broad. But the key element is garnishing a relationship once the networking takes place.
Yeah, and also people need to realize that a lot of times this also happens to me. Is like if you get the person's phone number, or if there's somebody that you're interested in networking with, if you got that far, then you should definitely take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
And I think people get kind of lost in the mix, or
all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. And if not, one thing I've seen is, like, let's say you network with someone, I know them from a hole in the wall, and let's say one person's at this level, other person's at this level. So some people tend to be like, they discredit that individual, and next thing you know, the whole 360, a couple years later, this person's at a plateau in their life where they're actually doing something progressive, and you might need that person, but you never took the initiative from day one to embrace them based on status of the business, and as opposed to embracing the individual for even being in it, and not counting them out,
Absolutely. So, and that's a very good humble point, because a lot of people won't even say that, they won't even mention how important that is. So now let's get into the resume. Like, it's thick, what I'm saying? I read up, you was at Interscope,
right, and
now you're at Warner.
Right.
What were you doing at Interscope, and how did you transition to here?
I started at Interscope back in 03. My older brother was working there. His name's Renee. He works at G Unit now. He was doing the promotion thing, and he's always like, yo, I need help. He just needed help. I didn't have no knowledge of the music business. I didn't want to be in it. I didn't know anything about it. And he He's like, yo, I need help. Just come help me out because it's getting too crazy for me over there. And I just got into the habit of going up there a couple of days out of the week. And, you know, I was always into the music thing. I just didn't know the behind-the-scenes aspect of it. So kept going, started learning the ins and outs of the business, and I just kept up with it, you know, and I became good at it. You know, it became something organic and natural to me. So I kept up with it, worked hard, put in lots of hours, non-stop days, weekends, nights, you name it, you know, and I grew into promotion. That was my niche. Promotion became my niche, you know, from a radio standpoint. And I got really good at that, and they finally hired me as a radio. You know, he moved up to a different company. They gave me his position, you know, doing promotions. And then from there, you know, word got out that I was doing promo for the Northeast region in New York. And I got an offer from Warner Brothers to come over here in 2006. So as of January 2007, I've been at Warner. You know?
So basically, you became a key person because of the context that you've built.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what made you an asset.
Yeah.
So, like, I want you to explain to some people out there who also, you know, maybe they might be executives watching this and they need to get to the next level. Like, what do you think was it that you know, got you another job? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people just get chopped and, you know, lost in the mix. Like,
I honestly think what did it was the consistency of keeping all my doors open. You know, I never tend to close or let's edit that. Ask me the question again.
The question is, like, for people that are also kind of in the same position, maybe they've gotten cut off from a label. You know, labels are getting closed down every day, or the urban market is getting closed every day. What is it that you did to maintain your position, basically, you know, to become an asset for people to want you?
Well, there's a few factors to that. Number one is my work ethic. You know, I feel in comparison to a lot of people in my field, and that's not to take anything away from anyone, I have a work ethic that can't compare to a lot of people in the business. A lot of people tend to get lost in the illusion of the business or the perception of it. That shit is not for me. You know what I mean? Like, my work ethic speaks for itself, and have the people that I worked with in this business will co-sign that. You know, not only that, I've also managed to nurture all the relationships that I built. I'm a big fanatic of people who nurture relationships. You know, like I mentioned before, you know, from the intern you meet at a radio station to the multi-platinum selling artist. Regardless of what, you got to treat everybody equally. You know what I'm saying? And value that. So, you know, aside from the work ethic and the nurturing of the relationships, I really think that's all that's kept me consistent in the business.
Okay, and how do you feel about, you know, like, cause a lot of that is, like, you know, involves burning bridges sometimes.
Right.
What factors cause you to have to burn a bridge one day? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, right now I hear you, you know, you like, you know what I'm saying, keep humble, keep doors open. But, like, when is it that it's just like, all right, you know, this is not working? Like,
I mean, from a business standpoint, even if something doesn't work, you don't necessarily have to burn somebody up. You know what I mean? Like, you always try to keep a good relationship no matter what. Whether it's an okay relationship or something, you know, you always try to keep some. But if it burns, if the bridge burns and it's out of your control, then hey, so be it. Then that's what it is. You know, that's uncontrollable. But I don't believe in that. You know what I mean? I've had outs with people where to this day we may not speak. You know, but it's really in depth. It's had to have been something in depth within the business. But from a business standpoint, if we're doing business and it just doesn't work, then you know, it's just left at that. You know.
Okay, and you know, so we've talked about the business and the stuff that you're doing. So what personal projects you have going on, or what is it that we're promoting at Warner? Like, what are we, you know, what are we getting into right now at this moment?
Right now, from a Warner standpoint, I'm working the Maybach music projects. You know, Meek Mill, Wale, Pill, Ross. On the what else are we working over here? We're working on, you know, Jill Scott, which is a big project for us this year.
Yeah.
The New Boys, another big project for us. You know, Jason Derulo, massive project for us. And then I got my own production company on the side, and I manage an R&B artist. Her name is Yobi. She's from upstate New York. She's 23 years old. Incredible. Got a record out with French Montana, Jaden Styles now called Set in Stone. So you can look out for her. Her name is Yobi, Y-O-B-I.
Awesome. So, like, you know, now that we know a lot about you, you know what I'm saying, people can go out there, They can try to look you up. You know, not too many people, but
Yeah.
you know, they can do what they got to do. You know, what kind of like last words you want to give to the people of Crack DVD Latino and to all these guys that are aspiring musicians and, you know what I'm saying, aspiring executives that are of Latino folks. You know, you are Dominican.
Right.
We got to let them know that.
Right.
You know, what kind of words can you leave them with?
Well, one thing's for certain is, as long, you know, dedication and persistency in this business is something that pays a long way. You know, don't get lost in the perception factor of the business, but definitely maintain humble, maintain, you know, persistent and consistent with your craft. If you believe in your craft and you really feel like whether you want to be an executive, whether you want to be an artist, whether you want to be a producer, engineer, anything within the entertainment business, just embrace your craft, be persistent with it, and just don't take no for an answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, we as Latinos, you know, it's not a lot of us in this business. I could count with my hands the Latino executives that I know, you know, surrounding, you know, my field, you know. So it's not impossible is really what I want to say, you know.
So there you have it, folks. Carlos Ogando, you know what I mean? Warner Brothers executive, doing his thing, also representing Yobi. Got the Maybach projects on deck. Crack DVD Latino. We're not only in front of the camera, we're behind the camera. We're doing a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We really appreciate you giving us this interview, and you know what I'm saying? Thanks a lot, bro.
No doubt. Anytime, anything for my man T, man. Crack DVD, let's go.
All right, man.